Hello, this is Mandy Arwen, podcasting from Edmonds, Washington, here to talk to you about spirit guides today. I am a psychic intuitive, author, and spiritual teacher. If you are interested in scheduling a private reading with me, you can connect with me by email at spiritualwellbeing@aol.com. That is spiritualwellbeing@aol.com. If you are interested in purchasing my book, Golden Nuggets, Your Guide to Practical Spirituality, you can go to Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BalboaPress.com, or go to the East West Bookshop in Seattle. Today's topic is spirit guides, and I am going to begin this podcast by reading a section from my book all about spirit guides. But first, a quote from Linda Deer. Linda Deer is an author, medium, transition coach, trainer. Linda writes spiritual books about her real-life experiences. These books are derived from a lifetime of communication and guidance she receives from her spirit guides, angels, those who have crossed over, and others. And here is that quote. Your spirit guides and angels will never let you down as you build a rapport with them. In the end, they may be the only ones who don't let you down. And here from my book. When we are in heaven, what many call the other side, planning our incarnation here on earth, we are assigned what are called spirit guides. These guides are people who know us well and choose to work with us, teach us, help and assist us. There was a period of time many years ago when I enjoyed getting psychic readings often. I learned from these psychic teachers, and I wanted to be just like them. One of the main things I learned during these readings was that we are sent here with divine assistance. We are each assigned spirit guides, teachers, and they work with us, mostly anonymously, until we discover them and start asking questions. Once I learned about my guides, I talked to them nonstop in order to learn about them and what I should be doing. It was fascinating to me, and all the while I was aware that out of all the people I knew, I was likely the only person who knew about spirit guides. This was distressing. After all, who could I speak to about my spirit guides? I was fascinated and wanted to converse with others about what I was learning, even compare notes with others. It turned out that the only people I could talk to about guides were the psychics themselves, which made me sign up for appointments all the more frequently. I immersed myself in books on the subject and learned as much as I could. Spirit guides are loving, lovable, soulful people who guide us along our spiritual path. They help us achieve spiritual growth. They help to stay the course, follow our path, expand, and get wherever we are headed. They are compassionate and love us unconditionally, both here and on the other side. Spirit guides work with you in many different ways. They can make you feel like you need to buy a certain book. They can introduce you to someone with important information for you. They can make you feel like signing up for a particular class that will further your growth, and they can give you the feeling that you need to do something. While angels have never incarnated, spirit guides have lived a physical life before. They have first-hand experience about the struggles and stresses of being in physical form. They are extremely compassionate about your trials and tribulations. As for your main guides, you can learn their names and develop a working relationship with them if you desire, although it is not necessary. Your guides will work with you throughout your life, regardless of your awareness of them. They have been with you since your birth. Several spirit guides have been working with me by my request for some time now. I requested the assistance of a music guide, a yoga guide, a cooking guide, a writing guide. I had been a musician since the 5th grade, mainly on the saxophone, and I know that I had a spiritual saxophone guide with me who has nourished and nurtured my playing all the way. He practically played through me. A while ago, I began playing the drums, and once I remembered to call upon a drumming guide, my drumming improved greatly and right away. My cooking guides help me create the most delicious and wonderful meals for my family. You can call upon any kind of guide. They are eager to come and help you. It is wonderful and exciting to get to know your guides by name. Just ask your guide for their name and sit quietly. Have faith that the name will come to you. After that, talking to your guide can be easy. Chat to them inside your mind and know that they are listening. Tell them your plans for the future. Ask for their help in guiding you to the most direct path. This collaborative approach is very useful in furthering your spiritual development. Your work with your guides to ease your own way. Remember, God chose these wonderful beings to watch over you and work with you. From the other side, you meet, work with, and love your spirit guides, and they love and want to help you. Feel comforted and start communicating with these lovely, supportive, helpful guides. That was the 23rd chapter of Golden Nuggets, Your Guide to Practical Spirituality, written by me, Mandy Arwen. As my book states, we come to earth with divine assistance, mainly angels and spirit guides. While angels are celestial beings who have never had a physical incarnation before, spirit guides have had at least one incarnation and are very aware of how tough it can be to live here on earth. They are compassionate and very wise. There are different kinds of spirit guides working with us. According to Sonia Choquette, we have teacher guides who are helping us learn everything we need to learn on this journey. A master teacher, mine is Jesus. Emotional and physical healer guides who we can call on to help us heal anything. And runner guides who love to do us favors, like run ahead of us to the store and have a great parking space for us, or see that we have a short line at the checkout counter. We must ask our runner guides for help, and they are always happy to oblige. Then there are helper guides. Helper guides are those who have expertise in a certain area that we are working with. For example, earlier I mentioned my saxophone guide who improved my saxophone playing immensely. You could ask for a computer guide to help you with projects on your computer, or an exercise guide to help motivate you to exercise and stay fit. There is no end to the expertise you can call in, and these guides are happy to help. You see, when a guide helps you, he or she is also helping themselves. Spirit guides are learning too, and by helping us, they are growing too. Spirit guides work mainly through your intuition, so you may sense that you should go do something, go somewhere, buy a certain book, take a class, speak to a certain person. There is no end to the multitude of ways they help us. Spirit guides never judge us. They have lived at least one life before, so they know the struggles we go through here on earth. They are extremely compassionate. You will never feel judged when working with a guide. When asking to work with my guides, I always say something like, my highest guides, or the guides who are working with the highest levels of unconditional love and light. Spirit guides are invaluable during psychic readings. They and the angels give the psychic reader the information to give to you. They know you and your past lives well, and are in a position to help you from the other side. I have had some particularly spectacular experiences with my teacher guides. I have 3, plus my master teacher. Here is a story I want to share with you. Around 2004, I was in my living room reading a spiritual book. I was very engrossed in what I was reading, and I just happened to have the house to myself. All of a sudden, I became aware of our wind chimes chiming and ringing, but I was so engrossed in my book that I dismissed it. A little while later, I realized that the chimes were ringing in a set pattern. It sounded like this: ding ding dong, ding ding dong, ding ding dong, ding ding dong. Over and over again it was like this. I was puzzled at the impossibility of it. I got up off the couch to investigate. I got to the chimes on our back deck, and sure enough, I could actually see the knocker hitting these chime bars over and over again. I was bedazzled and confused. How was this possible? I had to investigate further, so I contacted a psychic I trusted and had been using recently, and she confirmed that it was just my teacher guide and my grandmother, my Nana, just saying hello. So I wasn't crazy. It really did happen. I was so appreciative and blown away. Another story with the same guide happened while I was driving in direct sunlight without sunglasses. I don't know why. Maybe he prompted me. But I said to my guide, "You don't think you could make my eyes less sensitive to the sunlight, do you?" All of a sudden, I felt all this energy moving around my eyes and inside my eyes. A minute later, it was done, and I could drive without squinting. It was a permanent fix. To this day, I don't wear sunglasses. A really fun experience I had with this guide happened when I was using an angel deck of cards. I didn't know how to shuffle, and it was frustrating me. Over and over I tried to shuffle like in a casino and failed at it. So I decided to ask my guide for help. I said, "Could you teach me how to shuffle?" Immediately, I put my hands on the cards, and I had a clairvoyant and clairsentient moment. I saw his hands over my hands and felt his hands on top of my hands. He put pressure in all the right places, and voila! I shuffled for the first time in my life, and I was able to continue doing it after he took his hands away. I wanted to kiss him, I was so appreciative. One time, I had planned on saying something to another woman. It was going to be hard for her to hear. I planned for an entire week what I was going to say and how I was going to say it. I was nervous about it and was emotional about it beforehand. I went to see her and was about to open my mouth when another of my teacher guides gave me a firm warning feeling in my body not to do it. I became angry at my guide. I had been working on this for a week, and he never warned me at all. Now I was all ready to speak, and he was trying to stop me. I was angry with my guide because of his timing, so I ignored his warning, said what I wanted to say, and guess what? It blew up in my face. It became such a mess that I lost the relationship entirely and have regretted it ever since. Listen to your guides. They have your best interests at heart, and they can see the whole picture, whereas you can only see your viewpoint. Now, working with your guides is easy, just like with your angels, but you have to pay attention and put your own effort into establishing a relationship with them. If you want more help from your guides, I would set some time aside daily to sit with them peacefully and talk quietly with them and listen for their input. A wonderful prayer for getting in touch with your guides is this prayer. Dear guides, I am here. I am open. I am ready. Please guide me. That is known as the self-ascension prayer. It invites them in to help more and initiates a dialogue between you all. The more time you dedicate to having a relationship with them, the more rewarding the experience will be. You have free will, which means that you can work with them if you please, but they'll never force themselves on you. Well, this brings our podcast to a close for today. Remember to check out my website for information on the kinds of readings I give, prices, information on what my book is about, spiritual book recommendations, meditation music recommendations, radio show recommendations, spiritual movie recommendations, and even prayers for your use. My website is at www.spiritualwellbeing.net. That's www.spiritualwellbeing.net. This is Mandy Arwen from Edmonds, Washington, wishing you a blessed day, and thanks for listening.